Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so today we're looking at this stack of material, and it sets up this huge, brand new empire, and then introduces the four very unlikely adventurers who have to deal with it.
Right. It's quite the contrast.
Yeah, we're basically trying to piece together the essential lore for the Thenan Empire and, introduce this crew, the SugarFops. That's really their name.
It is. And the sources make a point of it straight away. They mention, past heroes stopping time itself, defeating huge threats, and then pivot hard. But this story is about the SugarFops.
Okay.
So the core thing for you to grasp right now is just the absurdity, this whole deep dive. It's really about that clash between the epic setup and these characters.
All right, let's dig into that epic setup for the Thenan Empire. It's actually a rebrand, isn't it, of the old Elrisian Empire?
Exactly. Built over 20 years, not so much by conquest, initially anyway, but more through economic weight and cultural pressure.
Oh,
Coercion, basically.
But there is military power involved.
Oh, absolutely. The backbone is this group called the Erdwimmer. A whole lot of Dragonborn, and they're supposedly immortal. They're the ones enforcing the peace. Peace through superior firepower.
Right. And the name change. Thena instead of Elrisia.
That came from the capital, They renamed it Sina, apparently to try and smooth things over, make it feel less like straight-up Elrisian domination, aiming for unity.
Which didn't quite work everywhere.
Not at all. I mean, sure, some regions like Drumhale, Britha, Ontem, they converted pretty easily. Maybe they saw an economic upside or just couldn't fight back.
But then there's Azatar.
Yeah, Azatar is the big contrast. It's still resisting. It's essentially an occupied state, mostly desert, and it's kind of loosely run by this group, the Cult of the Ouroboros. The sources paint them as basically just a criminal regime acting as occupiers.
And there are other places the Empire hasn't quite absorbed yet.
Right, the holdouts. Elbin, which sounds frankly disturbing, a continent that supposedly steals your will. And Laria, which is just seen as too distant and maybe worthless, so it's ignored for now. The whole empire feels kind of volatile, built on shaky ground.
Okay, so into this volatile mix, we zoom into one specific place. Hedone, pronounced Hedone.
Yep, Hedone. It's this mountain village tucked against the Alris Spine Mountains, and it's suddenly become this massive trading hub for the new empire.
Throwing too fast, though.
Way too fast. Completely unsustainable. Migration's pouring in. The Baron is actually hiring engineers and planners just to try and manage the chaos.
How big are we talking?
About 5,000 residents right in the town, but maybe 25,000 more scattered in the areas just outside it. And it's a real mix of different people, different species.
And culturally, what defines it?
Well, the cult of Halep is pretty big there. They're all about pleasure, indulgence. So the town had this reputation for being a party spot.
Had. What changed?
Yeah. The new governor, Vikaz, he's come in and basically locked down a lot of that stuff, curtailed the parties, the indulgence. So there's this immediate tension. A town built on quick money and good times, suddenly under strict rules.
Okay, so shaky empire, boomtown gone bust on the fun. Sounds like the perfect recipe for weirdness.
Exactly. And right on cue, this is where the SugarFops show up. A team that seems almost designed to fail spectacularly.
All right, let's meet them first. Ash, a forest gnome wizard?
Yep, Ash. Uses they-them pronouns. Has a sugar glider familiar.
Oh, cute.
But apparently hates small woodland animals, hates forest life entirely.
Wait, what? A forest gnome who hates forests?
I know, right? They came to Hedone chasing this dream of joining the New York Academy, but got turned away. Too old, apparently.
Okay, next.
Tap, a Hedone rogue, who is, well, basically a large humanoid sugar glider.
Like Ash is familiar, but person size.
Pretty much. And Tap came to Hedone specifically hoping to snort illicit substances and play the bagpipes, loudly, one assumes.
Bagpipes and illicit substances. Okay.
But thanks to Governor Vikaz cracking down, both of those goals are kind of off the table now, so Tap's pretty disappointed.
I can imagine. Who else? This is quite the lineup.
It really is. Then we have Sir Praxis. He's a dragonborn bard, very foppish apparently, essentially got kicked out of his noble house, House Skarath, for being useless.
Ouch.
So he's rocked up in Hedone to try and make a name for himself, and he travels with, get this, 3 kobold attendants.
A foppish bard with 3 kobold helpers.
Right.
And the last one.
Maybe the most contradictory one, Wraithor Dawnwarder, usually called Ray. He's a drow paladin.
Okay, a paladin, so righteous, lawful.
No. Ray is actively trying to lie, cheat, and steal. He wants to engage in crime.
A criminal paladin, why?
Because he believes it's the key to unlocking his lost memories. He thinks committing crimes will somehow bring his past back.
Huh. Okay, that is a contradiction. So let's recap this for you, the listener. We've laid out this grand, unstable Thenan Empire, this chaotic boomtown Hedone.
And dropped in this crew a forest-hating gnome, a substance-seeking, bagpipe-playing sugar glider man, a useless fop with kobolds, and a paladin trying to remember his past by becoming a thief.
It's quite the setup. The stakes feel potentially massive Empire-level stuff.
But our heroes, the SugarFops, seem more concerned with being too old for school or finding somewhere to play bagpipes illegally.
Yeah, it really brings us back to that contradiction, especially with Ray, the paladin.
Exactly. And this is maybe the thought to leave you with. What kind of memories does a paladin expect to find by actively choosing a life of crime? What sort of past requires theft and deception is the key? That's probably the deepest puzzle within the SugarFops themselves.